Mr. Investor Lot, welcome back to the channel, baby. Today we're going to be talking about Nano Dimension. Hovering around 700 mil, just below 700 mil in market cap, about $688.7 million. 3D printing, additive manufacturing, electronics company continues to go from strength to strength. We're going to be talking about pros and cons of this company. We'll talk about some of the difficult moments that they've had, but we're also going to include their share repurchase program. Yesterday they went flying, and we're going to talk about the patent they just filed as well. We'll also talk about a company they tried to acquire who refused them. Rejection. So look at how much they're going to grow, or how much they estimate to grow their revenue in the next few years. Talk about the risks they currently have, as well as some figures with that revenue growth. Let's look at the numbers. Finally, let's talk about one of their clients who is continuing to get lots of contracts from defense companies around the world. Again, please remember, none of this is financial advice, it's for entertainment only, and it really helps the channel out if you can hit the like, hit the subscribe, and drop me some comments down below. Tell me your thoughts and feelings. First of all, Yoav Stern, buddy, Mr. Big, Bald, and Beautiful. This man is actually becoming a bit of a YouTube sensation himself. He uses YouTube as a platform to communicate with shareholders, but also he's been talking about all the different problems that he's been facing within the company and the intentions of third parties who are trying to access Nano Dimension. Earlier on during the pandemic, he said that he was going to get this, raise this money, raise this capital. He was going to be very careful about how he spends the money. He followed up on that, and they have still over $1 billion in cash and cash equivalents. Some of it is earning interest at the moment too. And he didn't go and make hasty, expensive acquisitions when people like, Triple D and all of these other companies, everyone was going on different types of acquisition sprees when everything was overvalued in the market. So he didn't go and jump straight away and start buying companies. But he did, however, say to us that he wasn't going to buy back shares. And things have changed, market conditions change. And if he believes in his company and it's lucrative and it's going to be able to return value to the shareholder, believes that the company is undervalued at this moment in time because of its cash position. Its market cap is only 688 mil and the cash position is $1 billion. He has initiated the plan to share repurchase, and it boosted up the stock price of Nano Dimension. They also had to wait for approval from an Israeli court to continue their share repurchase plan. So they said that the plan was initially approved by the Israeli court in August 2022 and will now continue until October 12, 2023. Yoav's statement on the share repurchases was, "We continue to fulfill our promise to investors, which was temporarily held back due to the time expiration of the Israeli court approval. We thank the court again for its flexibility in extending the repurchase plan period. We are happy to act in a way that both improves the company's balance sheet and benefits its shareholders." Yesterday's stock price went up by nearly 6%, 5.8%. I think this was on the basis that Nano Dimension has announced that they've filed this patent for a large language model analysis of data generated by industrial machines, log files. Now, you guys may have remembered that Nano Dimension purchased a small company, DeepCube, for $70 million. They were set to pay DeepCube shareholders around $40 million in cash and a further million in American Depository Shares, ADSs. This was surrounding artificial intelligence, and they wanted to create this neural network with their machines that were able to problem solve themselves and recalibrate themselves, having more like hands-off time. As they said here, DeepCube's framework can reportedly be deployed on top of any existing hardware in both data centers and edge devices, resulting in benefits such as speed improvement and memory use reduction. And as Yoav Stern explained here, he said the core of this solution will be DeepCube's AI ML brain that is expected to manage a neural network of edge devices. They will self-learn and self-improve their efficacies and self-manage in maximum yield throughout the total network. So Dr. Eli David, the Chief Technology Officer of the AI for the company, commented on this patent, and he stated that it's a significant milestone in Nano Dimension and DeepCube Group's development. This is exactly the type of learning, advancement, and outcome we foresaw in combining our deep learning AI with the industrial case of 3D printing or additive manufacturing. They stated that the patent specifically will bring them into a new era by addressing two distinct issues with existing log stream analysis, which is real-time and scalability. Now, acquisitions. Let's talk about acquisitions. Nano Dimension this year has been particularly busy with this company called Stratasys. So Nano Dimension has been making offers to buy out this company. They wanted to acquire this company for $18 originally, then $19.55, then $20.05 in cash, reflecting 41% premium. Another article here that says $25 for some reason, but it says that the Nano Dimension offer was rejected by Stratasys board, and Stratasys basically, they do not believe that Nano Dimension CEO Yoav Stern is qualified to manage their company. They said he's not qualified, and they issued this statement saying that partial tender offers by nature can be extremely misleading and value destructive to the shareholders, and Nano's partial tender means Stratasys shareholders who tender their shares may have as few as approximately 40% of their shares purchased, assuming full participation in the offer. Therefore, shareholders risk becoming a minority shareholder in a Nano-controlled company. They went on to say that Nano Dimension's Yoav Stern has value destruction track records. He said that, he's notorious for it. And what they've said is that he spent more than $500 million in cash, and he's only increased Nano Dimension's revenue by $44 million. Now, they believe that it's worth more, and they stated that, they don't believe that Yoav Stern is correctly valuing what Stratasys can become. Now, Nano Dimension already owns some of Stratasys. In fact, here it says that Nano Dimension is the largest shareholder at Stratasys, with around 14.1% of the ordinary shares of the company. The board at Stratasys wants to do a Desktop Metal merger. Nano Dimension spoke about Desktop Metal, and they said that it is a cash-burning special purpose acquisition company, and it's underperformed and destroyed substantial shareholder value. Desktop Metal has lost over $3.1 billion of value. And Nano Dimension issued a statement as well to the board of directors at Stratasys and said that instead of pursuing, Desktop Metal, a merger with them, which is expensive, highly dilutive, and a speculative transaction, they should look at their offer Nano Dimension has made, which has received valuations more than double the current share price. Let's move on and talk about revenue growth. In a recent presentation, Nano Dimension's investor presentation, they said that they're poised to deliver superior growth as a leader in a highly fragmented market expected to grow 20% per annum by 2030. They have $1.1 billion or around $1 billion in cash or cash equivalents, which is earning interest at the moment. They've made some key acquisitions, as you can see here. They acquired DeepCube, NanoFabrica, Assemtech, Global Inkjet Systems, Formatech, Admatech, and Stratasys. They own 12.1% stake, or slightly more now, I believe. Customers ranging from aerospace and defense. They got NASA in there. They got Hensel, a defense company as well. Automotive, electronics, industrial. At medical, they got these innovative companies like Piezo Skin, and they've got research and development academia companies there too. They're continuing to focus on research and development as well as they look towards 2030, where they believe they'll have a total addressable market size of over $100 billion. Now, let's take a look at revenue growth. Now, in the last quarter, the revenue was around about $14.7 million. So they're saying the 2023 run rate for revenue should be around about $59 million. Their revenue is to grow around about 20% per year. Next year, in 2024, it could be $70.8 million. The next year, it could be around about 84, just under $85 million. That's 2025. 2026, $101 million. 2027, $122 million. 2028, $146 mil. 2029, $176 mil. And 2030, $211 million. This is considering they'll have a 20% revenue growth rate, and it's not considering mass adoption, or if they get a big client that adopts a lot of the machines in terms of the Dragonfly or any of the other machines they currently have, and also the patent that they just filed. If they're able to use that and utilize that for other clients, or maybe sell that software separately, actually be another revenue stream for them, as well as some of the dyes that they're using. So when they first came out, they were using this silver, I think it was this nanoparticle silver dielectric ink that we're using on their 3D, additive manufacturing electronics. They were using this Agsite silver conductive ink. They have a range of devices, including Admatech, which is ceramic and metal additive manufacturing, and as well as micro additive manufacturing with the Fabrica 2.0. If they were able to acquire Stratasys, which I don't think they can anymore, they won't be able to get Stratasys because the board is just trying to poison pill and just keep Nano Dimension out. Stratasys did lose actually in the last few quarters. They're continuing to lose money, but they're generating revenues about $159 million per quarter. It fluctuates around about 160, 159, 149, 159 million US dollars is their kind of rough revenue of about $150 million US dollars. Acquisition would have been an expensive one for them, and all the cash that they had on hand, it would have utilized a lot of that cash and maybe more. Nano Dimension is in a good position at the moment. They're sitting on a cash stack where they can continue continue to generate high amounts of interest on it. They're continuing to grow as well as file these new patents and research and develop and to obtain more customers. Now, speaking of customers and clients, partnership with this defense company called Hensel. Hensel continues to get contracts, and Hensel has a lot of clients, and this is to include, defense in space, air, land, sea, even cyber. But the most recent kind of partnership that they had was providing the US Coast Guard with naval radars. Just to give you an idea, this is a very small kind of follow-on contract, but it's worth about 10 million US dollars. The CEO of Hensel, Thomas Muller, said they already provide 50 radars in service with different coast guards and navies worldwide. As of a little summary of Hensel, they have a turnover around 1.7 billion euros in 2022. Back in 2019, when they entered this strategic collaboration, what they were aiming to do was work closely with Nano Dimension's engineering team and develop applications for Hensel's security and defense business. So literally, we could be supplying and helping them supply new products and components, develop some of the most advanced electronic works in the world. In 2019, they said they had 4,400 employees and generated revenues of about 1 billion euros per year. Now they have 6,500 employees and they generate 1.7 billion euros in 2022. So for them, I think they're making the right movements. I think they're still in a pretty good place, Nano Dimension. They need to continue investing in research and development. They need to watch their cash burn, but continue to produce, good revenues, start to also push out to more clients because of the uncertainty. And Elon Musk was also saying we're on like the tip and the verge of potentially WW3, if you know what I'm talking about. So it's a big risk that war can happen at any time. A lot of people are on edge, and the military budget and defense spending is still there in the Western world. It has to be high. So by working with some of these defense suppliers and contractors, so what Nano Dimension can do is work together with lots of these clients who are defense specialists, defense manufacturers, and they can get their 3D printing machines in there and help them develop solutions for their clients. So lots of government money, government budget can go to these defense contractors, and we can be supplying them with the 3D printing machines and helping them develop these products. Even for research purposes, the research money that would go into these defense contractors, we could help them with just printing, additive manufacturing, a single unit, a single product, or we could multiply that by 1,000 because Nano Dimension also has a service where you're able to develop prototypes. For example, why wait to innovate? Get your ideas 3D printed now. The Nanos 3D fabrication service. Guys make it so easy. They say you can chat with a Nano Dimension expert, design your print with us, and then print and ship. Super easy, printed in a matter of days, not weeks. I've got nearly 1,000 shares of Nano Dimension. I didn't buy more, and it's outside of an ISA account. So everything within an ISA account, when I sell it, is tax-free. All the gains is tax-free, but these guys are outside because they're an ADR. Thanks for watching. If you found this video entertaining and useful and valuable, please give me the thumbs up. Drop me some comments down below. How many shares you hold? What's your position with Nano Dimension? At what kind of price range? And where do you think this company is going to be by 2030? Seems like a long way off, but years fly by, and sometimes it takes time to develop these kinds of companies, innovation, especially when we're moving into this new age for 3D printing. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Wishing you guys all the best. Mr. Investor Lot over and out, baby.